Hello everybody and welcome to Mark Goldbridge, That's Football. We're live for a Carabao Cup final. Talk about a quick change around. That was a quick change around. It was a shit game, Manchester United against Leeds, but this is what happens when you follow your club. That's what happens, you know. Sometimes you have to endure a shit game, and we definitely did. But look, Carabao Cup final. Man City against Spurs. I've got to say, as a Man United fan, I'm probably Team Spurs. But yeah, I mean, look, I haven't even seen the team. Let me just put my tweet out. How are we all doing anyway? Hope we're doing well. Hopefully, I hope we see a better game, because that Leeds Manchester United game was shite, absolutely shite, and I think we can all agree about that one. Glazers out. There might be some people saying Glazers in, actually, because I don't expect everybody to be a Manchester United fan in the live chat. But you're very, very welcome. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Appreciate it. I am just going to sort out the timer here. Let me have a quick look at the team news as well. Most important thing, and we're only 2 minutes away from kickoff as well, so lots to come over. A little bit late because I literally have only just finished watching Manchester United against Leeds, and I've just done a match reaction over there, which I'm sure some of you do know about, but if you don't know about that, thank you very much for your patience. So the team news as it comes in: Stefan in goal, Walker, Ruben Diaz, Laporte, Cancelo, Gundogan, Fernandinho, De Bruyne, Mahrez, Sterling, Foden, and then Lloris, Aurier, Alderweireld, Dyer, Reguilon, Winks, Højbjerg, Lo Celso, Lucas Moura, Kane and Son. No place, a place for Harry Kane, which is, I thought he was injured. I don't know. Obviously, first game without Jose Mourinho. Imagine how pissed off Mourinho's going to be today. He will be pissed off, won't he? And he's probably got a very good reason to be pissed off, I think. I think that, as a non-Spurs fan, I still think he's a little bit harsh. I think it's a little bit harsh, I tell you. I think it's a little bit harsh that he ain't involved in this game today. He's got him to the final, and why is he starting Dyer, says Raheem. Well, yeah, I think you might be a little bit right about that one, but I did think that Harry Kane might have been a problem for this game, but he's not. He's back in it, and it's going to be 3-0 to City. Score prediction, Mark. Score prediction from me is as follows. I'm going to say that this game will end up being... I'm going to go with 3-1 City. Yeah, I'm going 3-1 City on this. What's your score predictions? I would like to see Spurs win. But I'm not sure they will. Right, I'm ready to go now. Are you ready? Are you ready for... I'm just ready to watch some good football, to be honest. If I'm Gary Barlow, I'm absolutely furious, Mark. I'm absolutely fed up. It's absolutely rubbish. That's one of the worst games of football I've seen in a long time. Manchester United against Leeds should be better than that. We expect better than that. We expect better. But we didn't get better. We got boring. We got proper boring. But this is a cup final. This is a cup final here on That's Football. This is not Germany, but this is a cup final, so we should see a good game, hopefully. Hopefully we'll see a better game. I believe we will. Sorry, I'm just having a few messages come in about the match. Why is this game not kicked off? Why am I watching highlights of Liverpool against Man City? Oh, is it already kicked off? What's my telly doing here? I'm on the wrong bloody channel. Oh, what a prat. You're joking me. I'm on the bloody wrong channel. It's bloody having a laugh. It was all showing me Harry Kane and that, and then it starts showing me Liverpool Man City highlights. I'm on the wrong bloody channel. 2 minutes I've missed. Imagine if I'd missed the goal. What a prat. We're on the right one now. I was like, what's going on here then? Spurs playing in green. Come on then. Let's have a good game of football. Let's have a good game of football here. It's because it was the Man United Leeds game, which I think was on Sky Sports 2. And they were showing the players coming out and everything like that. And then it went to an advert. And then it came back and started showing Man City against Liverpool. And I was like, what's going on? And everyone's going, timer, Mark, timer. I'm like, it's not bloody started. Why has it started late? I was thinking, oh, has there been a problem? But it's nice. You know what, actually, I've already confined Liverpool versus Leeds against Man United to history. What's nice about this? Look at the fans in the ground, man and woman. Look at the fans in the ground. How many fans are there? I'm not the only one. A few people did that. How many fans are in the ground there? Oh, what's Alderweireld doing here? Good tackle, Aurier. Alderweireld's got to go to that ball. There's more than 2,000 in there. I'm telling you that for free. There's 8,000 there. Sad to see Ollie out trending. It's every time we don't win, says Daniel Kirk. Well, it's a joke. Absolute joke. City pinging the ball around nice. Right, I can relax and do the game now. How are we all feeling about this then? I mean, when was the last time Spurs won a trophy? Were you alive? That's a good question. Were you alive when Spurs last won a trophy? When did they last win a trophy? I think it was the Carabao. It was the Worthington Cup, was it? Was it the Worthington Cup in what year? What year? 2008. So, 2008. I was in my 20s. You're not having the Audi Cup. Get out, Dimitar. He says, does the Audi Cup count? No, it bloody doesn't. Get out. No way. 2008 was when they last won a trophy. So for a lot of people, it could be watching Spurs win a trophy for the first time. I hope they can win it, but I've got to be honest. I don't know where people stand on this, and maybe Spurs will be a better team without Mourinho, and maybe they'll win this game anyway. But it does feel like we've been robbed of something not having Mourinho here. Maybe that's only a neutral fan sort of thing, but I do think Mourinho should have got to play the final. When did Man United last win a trophy? Says Olu the trucker. Well, to be honest, we've won a relevant trophy. You won, and I don't really think the Europa League is that good. But it makes me laugh that Arsenal fans are trying to big up the FA Cup and mock that we won the Europa League not that long ago, and yet you would absolutely cream yourself if you won the Europa League this year. So I don't really understand what your point is, Arsenal fans, because you're trying to say when was the last time you won a trophy. You'd absolutely cream yourself if you won the Europa League this year. So what are you taking the piss out of, Eddie? Hi Mark, how are you? I'm all right, mate. Thanks. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm not too bad. I mean, look, that Manchester United point for us, I didn't even look at the league table, to be honest with you. I mean, we should have won, but I'm not going to lose sleep. Oh, Foden there. A bit of a high foot, but he's got through on the left-hand side. We saw Mount yesterday. I thought Mount played really, really well. This could be the Foden show today. Fernandinho. Mount. Oh, lovely cross. Kyle Walker. City starting off confidently as ever. It's not Kyle Walker, it's Mahrez. Headed wide by Sterling. BP says you can tell that Pep is already targeting Aurier, who I don't rate Aurier. But that was always something that Mourinho used to moan about, wasn't it? The defence, which is surprising because that's Mourinho's big thing, isn't it? As a Chelsea fan, I want City to win. That's a good point. Who does everyone want to win? I want Spurs to win. Not passionately. I mean, look, I think it's hard to. I find it hard to really dislike any team at the moment because I quite dislike my team because of what they've done to football in relation to ownership. So it's hard to be, really disliking another team. If Man City play good football and win today and they entertain us, I'll say fair play. But of course I don't. I mean, look, at the end of the day, they can't win the real treble now anyway. But if they did win the Carabao Cup, the league, they will win, and they win the Champions League, they'll say they won a treble, which is not a treble. So I would like Spurs to win. I think the most likeable player on the pitch for me is Harry Kane. So I would like Harry Kane to win a trophy at Spurs. I mean, he's had it hard, hasn't he? Sterling playing up front there. Good tackle by Aurier. Time for Spurs to shine, says Kevin. Who do you think will be the next Spurs manager? Because it's not going to be this Ryan Mason, is it? I don't even know who he is. He's sort of gone for the Mourinho look as well, hasn't he? Do you think he got up this morning and said to his missus, he might not have a missus, I don't know, I'm being stereotypical. Do you think he got up this morning and looked in the mirror and went, I'm going to try and dress like Mourinho, so I'm going to wear a suit jacket with a zip-up jumper underneath it? I always envisaged Nagelsmann at Spurs, to be fair. I did always envisage him at Spurs. I've said it on this channel for about a year. I can see Nagelsmann at Spurs. I've got no inside knowledge. It's just literally my brain. I always felt that Nagelsmann and Spurs would be a good fit, but Bayern Munich might be where he goes. But then some people think that won't go. Anra says the whole City fan base are in the stadium. Well, there's 4,000 there. I think what they've done is, because Spurs have got a lot of fans, they were like, do you want 4,000 tickets? And they said yes. And then with Man City, they've just given it to NHS workers, and on the way in, they've given them different Man City tops. So they're not even Man City fans, I don't think. I think they've just been given tops. Liverpool, because they asked City if you got 4,000 fans who want to come down to London, they went, the best we can do is about 400, and that's pushing it. So they've said, don't worry, we'll just give the tickets free to the NHS, and we'll just give them a Man City shirt. Liverpool fan here, but enjoy watching your passionate videos. Great stuff, says Tony G. Unfortunately, that was one of the most least passionate Man United games I've ever watched. I'll probably get more passion going on here. Probably get more passion watching bloody Last of the Summer Wine. Apparently there is, I don't know how many people are there. Somebody said there was 8,000. Now people are saying there's only 4,000. Calvin Phillips was man of the match for me today, ONC, in the Leeds game. Yeah, I think Bielsa would be good for Spurs. I'd tell you, I'd love to see Bielsa go to Spurs. I know it would be a loss for Leeds. It would be a big loss for Leeds, but I'd love to see him playing with better players. See what he could do. But I don't think Spurs would do that. Yeah, it's 4 from each. There's 6,900 there, says Tyler Bland. He's counted them all. I think they're only on that side of they're only on the TV side as well, aren't they? I don't think they're on the side where the cameras are to make it look better. But it's, I tell you what, I can be a bit of a moaner, but can I just be a bit positive for a moment? Isn't it lovely to see fans back in the ground? I'm very sincere about that. It's lovely to see football grounds with fans in it. Love it. And I bet the players love it as well. Imagine having to play for the last year with only bloody your teammates talking to you. And that, look, that's nowhere near full, hardly full at all. But they will hear those fans and they'll love it. They'll love it. Those multimillionaires running around, they've now got people telling them they're doing well. No, seriously, it is great to see fans back in the ground. And hopefully we can build on that. Do you think Ryan Meeson can command the respect of the Spurs dressing room as he's even younger than their captain, says Edward? I don't think he's going to get the job. I mean, this is going to sound really funny as a Manchester United fan, but tell me an interim manager who's gone on to be successful. But it's true, isn't it? Like, tell me an interim manager who goes on to be successful. Ollie's probably one of the best, and he's not won anything yet. Those City fans there have followed the club through bad times. The disrespects to Centurions. It's called a joke. Bloody hell, mate. Do you want reality or do you want a bit of humour? All right, let's give Centurions a bit of a joke, right? Man City were getting 30,000 fans when they were in what is the equivalent of Division 2. So they have got a fan base. We all know they've got a fan base, really. They've got a bigger fan base since they reinvented themselves in 2008. They've probably tripled their fan base, but they did have a fan base before. Sterling! Oh, I thought it was going to be 1-0. Cross came in. Sterling on the spin, and it's blocked by Alderweireld. But Man City aren't pissing about here. Spurs sacking Mourinho before a cup final is such a Spurs thing to do. Bottling the final before the final, says Yazza Said. I think Centurion's bit on that a bit too hard, didn't he? Just realised that if you've upset him, it's part of the banter, really. Bum bum ba ba da ba dum ba ba dum bum ba ba da ba ba ba. Joseph Tyrrell says, between WrestleMania, UFC 261 and now the League Cup final, it's great to see fans coming back to events in my three biggest passions. It's a sight for sore eyes, says Joseph. Cross comes in. Out for a goal kick. I tell you what, Spurs are getting dominated here at the moment. Why does it... I mean, I think it's actually Eric Dyer who blocks this. But they are really exploiting that side. It's a cross by Foden, and I tell you what, that's going in. Bottom corner. Eric Dyer. Bit of height on that from Sterling, and that's 1-0. Roberto Di Matteo won the Champions League for Chelsea as an interim manager. Yeah, but that's a good example of somebody who didn't do very well, because how long did he last? I mean, he won it, but where is he now? Alec, thanks for the super chat, by the way. Flick was an interim manager and he won the treble. Yeah, I'm talking about the Premier League. Yazza. There's probably loads of interim managers in Serie A and Spain who've done well. Avon Scannell says, I've just joined. How good is it to see fans in the ground? It's really good. It's really good. Say hello to TikTok. But I'm not on TikTok. Hello, TikTok! Which I'm not even on. Fernando's right. Spurs have done absolutely nothing so far. They've ran around a lot, but City are just dominating them. Foden there as well. Fantastic spin and run. Can't find the front three at the moment, says Alicia. Yeah, they need to get involved in this game more, Spurs. Definitely need to get involved more. It's not been a very good start at all. Chance for Man City to put a cross in here. De Bruyne. Good from set pieces this season. Man City. And now there's a bit of a chance for Spurs on the break. And he's gone back for a foul on Son. So they'll have a little bit of time here. Gonna stamp out your fire. You can change your desire. Don't you know I can't forget you. Do, 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 do. Ollie was our best coach since Sir Alex Ferguson while interim, says Mr. Christopher. Well, you know, I'm a fan of Ollie, and I think some of the football we've played under Ollie since Sir Alex Ferguson left has been the best. But the best manager based on achievements is Mourinho, because he won 2 cups. Moyes and Ollie have won none. Van Gaal won 1. And Mourinho won 2. And I'm not counting Community Shield. You got no chance of me counting that one. Community Shields do not live here. Well, they do, actually. You get them at Wembley, but they don't count. Remember when Mourinho... I don't remember if Mourinho actually did this, but I'm pretty sure something was said about a treble. When Man United did the Carabao Cup, the Community Shield, and the... Oh, chance for Spurs to put a cross in. Oh, I thought Kane was going to jump. He didn't. Goes for a corner. Yeah, we won the Community Shield, the Carabao Cup, and the Europa League, and there was mention of a treble. And it made me want to throw up. But a corner for Spurs here. This could be all what it's about for Spurs today. This could be what it's all about. A little bit of Monica. No, a little bit of a goal from a set piece and defence. You know, that might be the Spurs tactic today. Son with the corner. It's a good corner, and it's punched away by Stefan. He lost at Wembley last week, but it's not been like that game from last week. It's not been like Chelsea against Man City. Chelsea really good on the ball at Wembley last week. Spurs hardly had any of the ball. Shot wide there from Alderweireld from distance. His interim record was very good, says Mr. Fur, the Christopher. As a United fan, who you got, says Mr. Palpatine. Well, look, I don't dislike Man City as much as I did a week ago, but I would probably... I still want Spurs to win, of course. Spurs are less of a rival to Manchester United and, you know, take the respect from that Man City fans, if there are any. I think Foden is the best England prospect since Rooney. He will decide if City dominate the next few seasons or not, says Sharath Kamath Fitness. And it's on Sky Sports, this. There is a fan forum, said Jamie. It's at 7:30 tonight. Gem says you've got a good vibe, Mark. Grand Theft Auto soon, Mark. Yeah, I'll be back next week, mate. Mackenzie will be back next week. Just a really hard week. That's all I can say. It's been a really hard week. Very tiring. Doing a lot of content on this channel, a lot of content on the United Stand as well. So that's really why it's just had to wait a week. I'm gutted. Blame. You know what? I meant to say this. FIFA's back tomorrow on this channel with my Super League. I'm going to carry on. It's nothing to do with me, what they've done in real life. And Grand Theft Auto will be back probably tomorrow night as well. But for the week we've not had it, blame Florentino Perez and the Glazers. You know, it's not just football they were trying to ruin. It was my bloody Grand Theft Auto streaming. Bloody prats. Bunch of prats they are. Free kick on the edge of the box here for City. It's a good position, this one. De Bruyne who wins it. They got some set piece specialists here, bro. They got De Bruyne. They got De Bruyne, and they've got Mahrez, and it's a good position. Probably about 3 metres edge of the box, slightly to the left. De Bruyne is over it. Mahrez is over it. This could be a goal. This could be a goal. I'm not saying it's going to be a goal, but it could be a goal. It's a good chance area, this. Eric Dyer's doing a thumbs up to the keeper. You'd think he'd know him by now. God, they're taking a long time on this wall. There's a mini Man City wall in front of it. I don't know what that's all about. Never seen this before. Man City have got a 3-man wall in front of the Spurs wall. De Bruyne straight into the wall. Which wall did he hit? I think he hit the Spurs wall, not the Man City wall. It's not going to be a goal. It's not going to be a goal, Alexandros, because it didn't go in. Greetings from Sirius, Jadal. So 23 minutes and it's flown by, but most of it has been Manchester City. Not much of a game plan from Spurs that I've noticed so far. I mean, it's not even, you can't even say that they're defending effectively well. I mean, they're doing okay, but the game plan is literally, let's hope Man City don't score and we somehow find a chance ourselves. Not looking good for Spurs at the moment. I do want Spurs to win out of the two, but it's not looking good for Spurs at the moment. It's a bit of a shaky start. Thank you for the super chat from Alicia Godfrey there. Appreciate it. Do you stand by your statement of leaving the United stand, says Henry? Well, no, because we're not going into the Super League. So don't get your hopes up. If we'd gone into the Super League in that format, I would have left the United stand, yeah, because I wouldn't have supported United anymore. Couldn't support United in that form because it wouldn't be Manchester United, it'd be a franchise. Another free kick here. This time it's against Man City. Has everyone in the UK been vaccinated, says Animish? No. Come on, City, smash the sorry excuse for a London team, says Zayn Miassi. That's all Arsenal fans do now. Business end of a trophy. Watch and hope the other team win. Seeing fans back in the ground makes me feel so happy. It's like we're approaching that light at the end of the tunnel. Proper buzzing for next season, says Joshua Bowater. Oh, nicely slipped into De Bruyne. The cross is good. 1-0. Oh, what a save. What a save by Lloris. What a save. Andale, Lloris. He's not even Mexican. He's French. I'm French. Lloris with a save. This is a magnificent save by Lloris. The cross comes in. Foden, 6 yards out. He doesn't even save it. It hits the post. No, it is not Lloris. It is Alderweireld, knee and ball post. This is not a Lloris save. Seeing fans back have done that one. But it's not. It was a good chance for Foden. It's a good block again. So Dyer's blocked Sterling a goal. And now Alderweireld has blocked Foden from a goal. But it is a corner for Manchester City. And it's headed away. Foden should be in the Haaland and Mbappe debate. What do you think, says Matthew? Don't put too much pressure on him. He's a very good player. But don't put that sort of pressure on him. Oh, that's late by Reguilon on De Bruyne. He'll be getting a booking for that. I think that's indicative of the game so far. That Spurs are just slow. They're slow to everything at the moment. Okay, boys, here's the plan. Pass every ball to Dyer. Don't argue about it, says SP Freely. Thanks for the super chats coming in, by the way. You can do that through the $sign. Reglon's having a bit of a mess, says Stephen. I think both fullbacks are. Mark, are those actual Man City fans in the stands, says Ara. Cherish them. Cherish them. You know, they're real. This is what happens when you're successful. This is what happens when you've got lots of money. People start supporting you. 2 years ago, they had a Chelsea shirt on. Now look at them. They haven't had far to travel either. Just down the road. They're all stood. Look at that one with his hands in his pockets beyond the goal. I remember being here a couple of years ago with Chelsea. I remember it. Oh, my skin and blister. Cockney. Cockney. I can't do a Cockney accent. He up me duck. That's not Cockney. I'm a wide boy. Come on, I remember being down here. A couple of years ago with old Chelsea. Like I was down here a couple of years ago with Chelsea. Now look at me. I'm in Pep's army, Man City. Never been to Manchester. Never been. Furthest north I've been is bloody Watford, mate. No, never been Manchester. I don't know what it's all about. Stone Roses and Oasis and the Beatles, innit? That's Liverpool. Well, I'm Blue Moon. That's me. You look like you're having a stroke, Ryan. That's no way to speak about Cockneys. Pep's not happy. You've got to laugh. You've got to have a laugh. You've got to have a laugh, haven't you? You've got to have a bit of a laugh. You want to laugh? You've got to have a laugh. I'm excited about Line of Duty tonight. But Spurs having a bit of an attack here. Oh my God. They're going to have an attack. It's Son. Is this loads of City players back? Gives it to Reguilon. What are you going to do? Crap cross. I tell you what, the reason I'm probably a little bit excited is because actually this is a much better game already than Manchester United against Leeds, which was terrible. So we're getting a bit of football going on here. Oh, my eyes are hurting now. Somebody said, can you do an Indian accent? I don't do Indian accents or Jamaican accents or anything like that because I worry that it can be perceived as being racist. And I don't know what the rules are on that because ultimately, surely you can do accents. But I think if you do it, you probably do get complained about for being racist. So, but I never understood that. So I can do French, I can do American, I can do Australian, but I can't do any of these. But if I did an Indian accent, people would probably say you're being racist. But they would. People would say that, and it's not right, is it? Because actually you're just doing an accent of a nationality. So I'm not going to do it, no. Manchester City have this game in the bag, says Benjamin. Yeah, I think they do. Sterling, oh, he's just gone wide there. City have probably had 3 really good chances already. 3 really good chances. This is slipped into to Sterling. He's like left side of the 6-yard box. Keeper comes out. He's got defenders near him, but he dinks it over and it just goes wide. So close. So close from Sterling. He could have had 2. He's got none. Who do you want to win the FA Cup, says Tristan? Probably Leicester. Yeah, underdog in the FA Cup's good. What Man City? Look at the way Man City fans crowd the referee here. I think this is a yellow by Diaz. Well, he did get the ball. He did get the ball, to be fair. Let's pretend we scored a goal, says Ara. That did look like he got the ball. Is Line of Duty just like the bill but with more production, says Red Baron. I didn't watch the bill. Are Liverpool's top 4 as hopes over, says Callum. No, not yet. I think if you win all your games, you won't. Got Man United next week. That'll be a big one. I am doing Champions League watch-alongs ONC Tuesday, Wednesday. Looking forward to that. And unfortunately, for me, Thursday night as well. Europa League. Europa League with Ollie and Carricky. I'm going to pick McFred and Magaluf and Daniel Jamesy. I'm going to pick Jamesy Carricky. Cross comes in. It's going to go for a goal kick. So, yeah, Tuesday is... What's Tuesday? Tuesday is it PSG or is it Real Madrid? It's Real Madrid Chelsea on Tuesday and it's PSG Man City on Wednesday. So, yeah, looking forward to those 8 o'clock kickoffs. Thursday night, it's Man United Roma and Villarreal Arsenal. Same time kickoff as well for those two. Do you think Mourinho deserved more time and to be beat at the final today, says James? I would like to put this to the live chat. It is a democracy. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. We're on the road to 385k today. I personally do think that Manchester United... I personally think that we will... that he does deserve it. I think he does deserve it, yeah. I think he does deserve to be there. I mean, what difference would a week have made? Well done, Jed. Yeah, what do you think? Do you think I just think he should have been given another week, Mourinho. I do. You said the channel is all for football. Why don't you just change it to Premier League football? Says Sunday A. Don't know what you mean, mate. The faster you get rid of the toxic Jose, the faster you can clean the mess he made, says Red Baron. Well, I mean, look, I'm not a Spurs. I thought that was a goal as well. Mahrez, they're having it. The chances are stacking up for Man City here. Goes out to Mahrez, cuts inside. And lovely bit of play. He's had Reguilon on toast, actually. Reguilon's on a yellow card as well. Mahrez has had him on toast there. Oh, again, it's just so close. It's like that far from hitting the post. Lovely play by Mahrez. City should be at least 1-0 up here. But yeah, I suppose the point is, if Mourinho had stayed in the job, I suppose I'm not looking at it as a Spurs fan. If Mourinho had stayed in the job, won the Carabao Cup, you can't sack him then. So maybe it was the perfect time to let him go. I do think he probably did deserve a chance at it. I mean, James J says it's disgraceful, but I suppose the problem is if he'd won it, people would say, well, you've got to give him another season because he's won a trophy at Spurs for the first time in 13 years. We'll definitely will hurt Mourinho, though, because this is now the first club, I think I'm right in saying this, it's the first club that he's not won a trophy at. Every club he's won a trophy. In fact, every club before Manchester United, he won the league in the first 2 years. So, this is the first club that he's not won a trophy at, and to be sacked 6 days out from a cup final will be frustrating for him. Definitely. Grand Theft Auto probably be back tomorrow night, Riyadh, and then we'll get back to normal again. So yes, it's coming back. Oh, Spurs with a bit of a break here. Son. Oh, no. I mean, look at the work rate of Man City, though. People talk about Man City in relation to how they attack, but look at the work rate in relation to getting back as well. That's something I've noticed a lot about Man City this season, is that defensive work rate is... Well, it's always been like that under Pep anyway, but they get back. Look at the positioning of Gundogan and Fernandinho straight in front of their back four really quickly. Thanks for the super chat, Tom R. I'm watching it on a telly, Calixto. He says, how are you watching it? I'm watching it on a telly. I think they were invented about 70 years ago. You should get one. Mark, you look tired. Maybe take a week off. Oh yeah, that's how it works. Carabao Cup final, 2 Champions League semi-finals, FA Europa League quarter final, Man United semi-final, Man United Liverpool. Yeah, just take a week off. Yeah. Somebody does need to hit the target, but it's a corner for Spurs, which could lead to a goal. It's at the Spurs end. I'm not in a pissy mood at all. Southgate will get a headache choosing Euro squad. He will. What's your favourite beer, says Jay? I'm not really beer connoisseur really. I just like it. I don't really go in for a particular brand. Cross comes in. It's another bad corner from Spurs, and it's a chance for City to get rid of it. Purple Rain, somebody, I don't know. Mark, what's your score prediction for the Man United? Ooh, this decent long ball into the back post there, and Sterling he's clapping himself. Look, stands up and claps himself. De Bruyne's ball here, watch this. Pings it out. Long ball towards the back post. And Sterling, I think if Sterling anticipates that with his head, he heads it into the goal. He's gone with his foot, should go with his head. Again, I can't believe City aren't winning this. What's your score prediction for Man United versus Roma, says JWR? I can't score predict at the moment, but I do think Manchester United will win that. I don't actually think Roma are that strong. I thought they did well to beat Ajax. I'd watched Ajax a couple of times in the group stage of the Champions League, and I actually thought Ajax were quite decent. I was quite surprised to see Roma beat Ajax. I don't really think Roma are that great, but look, maybe I'm going to get surprised. But remember, United have already beaten AC Milan this year in the Europa League, and I thought we were a little bit lucky in the home leg, but I think we'll be all right against Roma. I think Villarreal against Arsenal is an interesting one, because I just don't know. You never know with La Liga. Like, Chelsea beat Atletico Madrid quite comfortably. We beat Sociedad quite comfortably, and then Real Madrid beat Liverpool quite comfortably. So you just don't know about La Liga. It could be a comfortable game for Arsenal. Might not. What if this is the final Spurs are in for the next couple of decades? Are Spurs not interesting in winning trophies, says Yazza Syed? Are you putting your name to any sinking ships this summer, Mark, says James Burton? I don't really know, because I'm just so focused on the on change at Manchester United. I don't know. I don't know about transfers. Don't know what I feel about that. Man City got no fans, says Lords HD. And, well, we're approaching half time in this one, which is mad how quick it's gone. 43 minutes. Can't believe how quick it's gone. And it's 0-0. And Man City have had 3 or 4 really good chances, and Spurs have had none. So I don't think this guy's your future, Spurs. He's got a nice jacket on, but he's only had a few days to work with the team, Mark. He has only had a few days to work with the team, but he's not. He ain't good enough, is he? Let's be honest. This is. I'd expect Rochdale to turn up and play Man City like this. You've got to have a little bit more to you than this. And it's all right saying, well, it's Man City, but I watched Chelsea last week and they passed Man City off the ball, off the pitch for an hour. You know, you can play a little bit different against City. You don't have to just give them the ball. I think Spurs have just given them the ball. But I don't really think they've got the players to hit on the break. I mean, Harry Kane's not particularly super fast, is he? I don't think Lucas Moura is super fast. I mean, Son is. But he's got a... I'm not blaming the manager. I'm just saying that you know, he's been thrown in at the deep end, at the very, very deep end. And I don't think you would have seen very, very different tactics from Mourinho, really. But and the positive for Spurs is it's 0-0. So there's going to be a yellow card there for Laporte. They need Bale. Lucas Moura is rapid, bro, says Julian. Well, he was rapid here, to be fair. I've already done it. City coming away with the ball with Kyle Walker now. Former club for Kyle Walker, of course. He should be off, says Pezza. Laporte should be off. Lucas ain't quick. It's just on FIFA he is, says Archie. I don't personally think that Lucas Moura is that quick, but I'm not going to get into that argument. 1 minute to go till half time. I think the way this is going, it's going to end up with a Man City win unless Spurs score first and don't concede. I don't want to give it a Michael Owen treatment, but oh, good save. Another shot there. Cancelo that time. Mark, my God, sir, I was looking at the games left in the league, and if Man City can go on a slump and we win the rest of our games, we can win the title, says David. No. What are you talking about, David? Manchester United can't win the league when they can't beat bloody Leeds. Like, you know, you've got to keep winning to have any chance, and we haven't kept winning. They've all got their masks on, that's good. Like to see that. Mark's not hungover, he's tired. I'd hardly slept again last night. I don't think I had a drink last night. I know Man City didn't beat Leeds, but what I'm saying is there's only 5 or 6 games left, and we needed to win today. It doesn't matter who we were playing. We needed to beat Leeds to have any... Well, I don't think we've got any chance. I don't think we had any chance of winning the title anyway. It's half time then. Let me just stop the clock there. So what were your thoughts on that half? I think Manchester City had lots and lots of chances and probably should be 1, maybe 2-0 up, but certainly 1-0 up. But it's 0-0. I suppose Spurs can take their the positives out of that. What I would say is that Spurs, if I was a Spurs fan, I'd be a little bit unhappy because I just don't think they've got hold of the midfield at all. They've not got hold of the ball at all. They've not had the confidence to pass the ball. As I said last week in the semi-final, we saw Chelsea for an hour just passing through. Look, Man City are a hard team to keep the ball when you've got the ball against them. They will press you, but it's the confidence to pass the ball and move. We haven't seen that from Spurs. They're playing in spurts, and I think that if the game continues down the pattern that it is, then inevitably City will score one of their chances in a moment. Man United was poor today, says Michael Jones. They were. Liverpool have signed Canate, says Sam. Yep. Probably going to be playing in the Europa League. Well, I mean, I'm not even winding you up there. I mean, Liverpool are going to have to beat Manchester United next week, which they're more than capable of. Man United have got 5 games to go, and we've got 67 points. Liverpool have got 5 games to go, and they've got 54 points. So even if Liverpool win all their games, they can only get 69 points. 69 points. If I tell you what, I'll tell you this now. If Liverpool win their last 5, I think they'll get into the Champions League, because I think 69 points probably will do it. So that's the challenge for Liverpool. I don't think 66 will. So I think they've got. I don't think 67 will. So I think they've got to win their next 5 games. That's what they've got to do. But they're currently 4 points off top 4, Liverpool, with Chelsea on 58. But Chelsea got a bit of a run in, so it could happen. It could happen. A lot of people saying was, why is Laporte not been sent off? Has he? Has he really? You're having a laugh. You're having a laugh if that's true. No, they're not. They're not. He's only got 1 yellow. It's not even being mentioned on Twitter. Laporte should have been sent off, says Jack Seymour. Well, look, I think that, as I said, Spurs in the second half are going to have to find different gears to go through, because that was... I think their only chance of winning this game, Spurs, at the moment, is if they can nick a goal from a set piece or something and hold on to a 1-0. And it's very rare that Man City don't score in a game. I know they didn't score against Chelsea last week, but it is very rare. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. You're very welcome to the channel. This is That's Football, so everybody's welcome on here. It's really important that we have a... what am I talking? I'm wandering off. I am tired. We are going to be doing Champions League watch-alongs on Tuesday and Wednesday. That's what I was going to say. So please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner. You're very, very welcome. Spurs need Dembele on. And what's your thoughts? What's your favourite club in the lower league? Says Rich. I don't really care. Sorry, it's not I don't care. I just don't really pay much attention, if I'm honest. And thoughts on the Serbian national team? Some great talent, says Iron. Why was Ollie out trending on Twitter, Mark? Because that's Twitter. You see, you get people saying, why are you not putting Glazers out at the end of every tweet? We need to get it trending. Then United draw to Leeds and Ollie out's trending. And you just think, so what? You devalue trending on Twitter when you end up with Ollie out trending on Twitter. So this is why I couldn't give a shit about people putting Glazers out in their tweet. I do it just to say that I'm not happy with the Glazers, but Glazers out trending, what does it mean if Ollie out's trending after a bloody draw with Leeds? Spurs are lucky not to be 3-0 down, so Centurion 100 points. I agree. I think Spurs could have been 3-0 down. I think it's only sort of last-ditch defending that stopped it, but some people would say that's a good defensive display, but I expect to see more from Spurs. We're 400 away from 385,000. Please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. You're very welcome. Is it a treble if Manchester United win if Manchester City win the Carabao Cup, the League, and the Champions League? It is technically a treble, but it is not the treble. The treble is the FA Cup, the Premier League, and the Champions League, and nobody can win it this season. It's gone. It's gone. Absolutely gone. Roma are apparently losing to Cagliari at the moment, says Rapid Stars, and do you like Swindon Town, Lenny? I'm indifferent. Thoughts on Fulham, says Kiz. I think Fulham are going to go down, mate. 7 points from safety. I think you're down. Yeah. I think you had a good run, and I think at one point it looked like you were going to get out of it, but they seem to have a good run and they just couldn't sustain it. So 7 points from safety for Fulham, 5 games to go. Down you go, I think. I presume that, Sheffield United are already down, aren't they? I think they've been down for a while. West Brom are nearly down and will go down. And I wouldn't say I'm happy, because I don't think you should ever be happy about failure of somebody else. But I do sort of feel that football needs to move on. I think it's very apt that we're talking about Spurs here and whether Mourinho should have been managing this final. And I think Mourinho should have been managing the final, because I think that to sack a manager 5 days before a cup final is a bit harsh. Why not just sack him in the summer? But having said that, there is that argument that I said before about just looking at this Laporte foul. There is the argument before that if you keep him in the job and then he goes and wins it, why would you sack him when Spurs haven't won a trophy for 13 years? But if Mourinho's done in the Premier League, which he is, and I think we all know that Mourinho is done in the Premier League, he proved it at Manchester United and he proved it at Chelsea, lost the dressing room, and he's proved it at Spurs. The style of football that he played at Manchester United and the style of football he played at Spurs, Mourinho is not a competitor in the modern game. And if Jose Mourinho wasn't one of the greatest managers the Premier League's had, who'd won Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues comfortably, you'd say he's not a terrible manager. But compared to the Mourinho that we know, he's nowhere near the level that he needs to be. So if Mourinho's done in the Premier League, why are teams still sacking managers to give jobs to people like Sam Allardyce? Football needs to move on. Sam needs to go and retire or do Talk Sport or something like that. So I actually, if West Brom go down, I said it at the time, I think West Brom would have had a better chance of staying up if they'd stayed with Slaven Bilic. So I'm sort of glad in a way that if they do go down, these days of managers getting sacked so that Big Sam can come and do a rescue job is over. Football's moved on. It's only me or everyone is feeling Rashford is taking so many touches in the box as United voice. United stand for that, pal. I don't think Rashford played particularly badly today, but some do. Manchester United sacked David Moyes because top 4 was impossible. Top 4 actually still isn't impossible for Spurs. Look at the league table. It actually still isn't impossible. Sam Allardyce for Ireland manager says absolute. Need some decent players first. Trust me, at the time I thought the same, but Allardyce has got us playing better, says Baggy, but you're going down. And what are your thoughts on the new proposed Champions League format, says Harvey C. I can't take it on at the moment because I think, like many people, we're just still reeling from the Super League. But from what I've seen of it, it's not great, is it? But I haven't really looked into it enough yet. So, thoughts on Ronaldo coming back? No. I think these are all distracting tactics to try and make people avoid to move away from the what really matters. We have one very good player. Well, I think he's underrated in class. Their player is Seamus Coleman, says Shane Brown. Which player from Serie A would Man United buy, says Cats the Rabbits. Do you fancy your chances of winning the semis? Ollie has an iffy track record, says Special K. And I think United will get through against Roma. I'm not saying we're going to win it, but I think we will get through. And I think that I do think Arsenal. I think it probably will be a Man United Arsenal final. I do. And I'd be a little bit worried about that, but it is what it is. But I do think they'll probably get through. And The reason I think that is because I've just got a feeling that La Liga is better than the Premier League is better than La Liga, so I think that it will get through. Champions League semi-finals, what do you think? I think Man City PSG. I'm going to go Man City. Real Madrid Chelsea is a cracking game. It is a cracking game. ESL is inevitable, Mark. It's more fair, meritocratic and an open league. It's defo happening. UEFA isn't sustainable if it keeps heading this way, says Ethan cleverly. How can the Super League be more of an open league? They were literally going to keep 15 teams in it every year for the next 20 years. How can that be good for football? I'm not saying that a Super League can't work, but I'm against it in every single way that they put that forward. Welcome to the Members Club, Dexter. Thank you very much. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Second half is incoming, and it is currently 0-0. Man City with lots of chances, but no goals. Spurs, I don't think Spurs have had a chance, have they? Greenwood or Bamford over Ings-Lewin for the Euros, says Michael Nelson. I can't see how Calvert-Lewin doesn't go, Michael, to be fair. I think he deserves to go. I can't see how Calvert-Lewin wouldn't go. Mark, if you read the super chat, I said if it's more fair. If it's more fair. But I don't think it is fair, Ethan. I think that you're right that the current UEFA system has its issues. But what's been wrong with the last 10 years? What's wrong? I don't know what problem. I don't know what the problem is with the Champions League. Why are people fed up with the Champions League? I like the Champions League format. I think that the issue is the competitive element of sport. Does the Premier League not does the Premier League not provide entertainment to the Champions League? There's probably we've got the big six that we're going to go in the Super League. Plus you've got teams like Leicester, maybe Everton on the way up. So we can provide teams to the Champions League that make the Champions League exciting. Spain doesn't. Spain provides the same bloody teams every year. Italy. I think the problem across the reason people want a European Super League is because every other league doesn't provide the platform or the competition that the Premier League provides. That's why everybody wants the Premier League teams in the Super League. There's nothing wrong with the Premier League. Thoughts on Callum Wilson's disallowed goal yesterday, says Lord. I haven't watched it from yesterday at all because I was so busy yesterday. So I don't think the Super League is essential. And also, I'm very proud of the Championship. I'm very proud of the structure that we have in English football. I think the Championship is a very competitive league. I think the structure in English football is fantastic. And by having Super Leagues and taking 6 teams away from the Premier League to go and play in a Super League to help teams like Barcelona and Real Madrid, I'm not for that. I think it destructs the structure of football. Just make Champions League knockout all the way over group stage, says Dane Grayson. Underdogs for the Euros, says Iron. I don't know, I think France are the favourites, aren't they? But anyway, we've kicked off again, second half. Can Spurs get a little bit closer to Man City's goal? That would be nice. That would be nice. Spurs are going to win this, says the football. Trust me. Well, to be honest with you, the way the game's gone, we've seen that story before, haven't we? One team should be 3 or 4-0 up at half time and end up losing 1-0. The reason why teams want the Super League is because City and PSG are getting too much financial power. No one will be able to compete with them, says Ethan cleverly. Yeah, we don't need a Super League just to counter that, do you? Here's Son, bit of space. Look at the work rate of the City players to get back though. Aurier picks it up on the right hand side. Oh, was that a corner? Yeah, shot by Le Gelso. Stefan gets his hand on it. Look, actually, he made that look a better save than the shot looked to me, first of all. Le Gelso, edge of the box, gets a bit of a curl on it. That's a good save by the keeper. It's not a bad shot. Lots of curl. Good save. Italy as an outsider. Yeah, I mean, I think Italy could be considered an outsider, to be fair. Anyway, cross comes in from Son from the corner. Oh, was bopping about a bit, but Sterling comes away. How many goals have we seen City score on the break? Here's Sterling all the way from his own half. Fast into Foden. Oh, he slowed it down a little bit, but plays it into Mahrez. The ball's there for De Bruyne. Hit it first time, or will he shoot? Good tackle. And De Bruyne a free kick. England aren't winning it. Not a chance. Not a chance. There's nothing in that really. I don't really know what Lo Celso's problem was there. De Bruyne's gone to hit the ball and he's kicked Lo Celso. So, can Man City get their momentum going again? Can Spurs get back? Can Spurs get into this game? I can't say get back into the game. I don't think they've really been in it yet. Son. Look at that work rate again. I keep saying it, I'm boring myself. Look at the work rate of City to get people back into position very quickly whenever there's a team on the attack. What do you think about Canate to Liverpool as they have Van Dijk and Gomez, says Anthony? Well, they've got Matip as well. I presume Kabak will now not be signed in the summer, which is a bit of a shame because I think he's done all right for them. But that's the way it is. That's just the way it is. Nice ball over the top. Lloris has that. Beast says, I think Kabak will sign and they will let Matip go and have 4 centre-backs. Well, I certainly think that Klopp will want to go into next season with 4 centre-backs. You can understand why after this season. I think they would have needed 6 and they still would have been in trouble. Plus also, I mean, look, I don't know what the injury was to Gomez, but we do know that the injury to Van Dijk was significant. What if he comes back and he's not the player that he was before? Therefore, you're going to need a centre-back. Konate's good, though. I do like Konate. Non-Euro World Cup years could have a club winners tournament hosted in big world stadia that don't get to see your big Euro clubs, owners and fans happy, says Mr. Fur. Kabak won't go back. Schalke got relegated, says Dane Grayson. Yeah, but he'll go somewhere though, won't he? He might not go to Liverpool though. Spurs, a little bit better from Spurs second half, I've got to say. They've probably been more around City's box in this first 5 minutes of the second half than they were in the entire first half. Could this be a good time to get Son to United, says Mickey? I'm not so sure. Winnerpool says, I see less hate between rival fans in England. Is tribalism dying? Pfft. Mate, you want to try the Man United fan base. It's not dying at all. You probably just don't see it. It's still there, definitely. Gary says, I think Kabak will go to Norwich or Leeds. I think he'll get a move. It's just whether Liverpool decide to go with him or not. City just getting control of the ball again here. Hazard back to Chelsea. Would they want him? Konate's very injury prone, says Duzan. He is. I mean, I remember United need a centre-back, so I'm not going to lie and say that Konate is not a player that's been mentioned. Here's Lo Celso. He's a player that's been mentioned. An injury was something that was mentioned as well. I'd still take him. Mahrez twists them up and doesn't get the shot off. Well, he does, but it's still not very much power in it. I'm sure I'd rather be on the pitch, but it's nice to see Ryan Mason still involved after what he's been through, says Sean Finity. I don't know what he's been through. What's he been through? Your thoughts on Mourinho to Celtic, says Ara. Well, I don't think Mourinho's going to retire, so he is going to take a job, and I don't think Mourinho's going to take a job at Lille, is he? So a big job for Mourinho is probably what he will take. And Celtic, with all due respect to Celtic, I just feel that Celtic is a job that Mourinho might take because it's a big job, but it's not necessarily a challenging job. I mean, obviously it is in relation to Rangers, but you expect Celtic and Rangers to be top two in that country, don't you? So it's not as intense as the Premier League, is it? So I wouldn't be surprised if he did take that job. Sterling shoots over the bar. Bounty Lad says, if Spurs won this cup, how much credit do you think would go to Jose? I don't know. I mean, I haven't really, because the Super League has taken up so much time of everybody, I haven't really paid much attention to players that have sort of thanked Mourinho or what the dynamic might have been in relation to Mourinho. I don't know what that was. He had a career-ending head injury. Okay. He wasn't at Spurs when that happened, though, was he? You're vaguely knocking me down. I think Son came out and backed him, and Kane and Lloris came out and backed him. So it makes you wonder who were the players that wanted rid of him, because Kane, Son and Lloris are quite influential players. It happened when he was at Hull. Thank you very much. I rate Seamus Coleman and Shane Brown. I did want him at United a few years ago. About 5 years ago. Steven Gerrard to Spurs. It's time for major overhaul at Spurs, and he's done an excellent job at Rangers, says Racehorse Red. Depends what Gerrard wants to do. Does he want to just do Rangers and then go to Liverpool? I mean, the problem is, as a Spurs fan, and this has happened a lot in history, so, you know, if you want it to happen, you can. But imagine Gerrard came to Spurs, did quite well, and then 3 years in or 2 years in, Liverpool want a new manager and they say we want Gerrard. He's going to go. In fact, he's going to have it in his bloody contract. So, nice play by Man City. Cross. Lloris has got it. So, If I was a Spurs fan, I wouldn't want Gerrard. I'd want somebody that if they do well, you've got a very good chance of keeping them. And I think Gerrard, if he does well, or if and then the job comes up at Liverpool, he will go. But maybe Spurs fans would be happy with that sort of potential short-termism. What do you think about Portugal's chances in the Euros, says Diego? I'm quite excited about Portugal's chances in the Euros. I'm a big fan of Bruno and Ronaldo, and I think they've got some really good players as well as that. You know, João Felix, Bernardo Silva, Cancelo, Ruben Neves, most of the Wolves team. Although Wolves are terrible at the moment. You wonder how long Nuno's going to stay in the job. I don't know what's gone wrong with Spurs with Wolves this year. Weird. Here's Son on the right-hand side. I think Spurs have been better this half so far. I felt first half that Man City absolutely dominated the ball. Second half, Spurs have been a bit better at getting higher up the pitch. And I think that's a purpose tactic as well. I think in the first half they dropped off a lot, whereas this half they have played a higher line. Definitely can notice that. First half they'd have been a lot further back, Spurs. Brendan Rodgers to Spurs. I don't never say never because it's a big club, of course. Does race horse Reds woman still like knocking the boots in public, says Chris Mitchener. Oh, that's not a question for me. Just passing it around the back at the moment, Spurs. What's the matter with you? What position would you play if you're a player, says Ara? Well, I used to play CDM. Box to box and centre back, and in my younger days I used to play on the wing. Half an hour to go. Of course, I presume this game can go to extra time. No one wants extra time. Mark, thoughts on Reguilon's misses? She's 10 out of 10, says Curtis Brooks. I don't know. I don't go looking at those sort of things. And Dembele on for Vinks, says, I don't know why I call Winks Vinks. And Dembele on for Winks and Bale on for Lo Celso, dying for creativity at the moment, says Racehorse Red. Oh, good crossing by Mahrez, and Gundogan heads it onto the roof of the net. It was a little bit high for him and he's not that tall anyway. But another half a chance for Manchester City here. I think if Man City score, it's over. Like I think Spurs are just not... I can't think of a good chance for Spurs yet. I mean, that Lo Celso shot was good, but it was a good shot, but it was, you know, it was out of nothing really. Ehab says Son is just a South Korean Dan James. Whatever. I like Son. I think he's a very good player. Although I must admit, in relation to Son, I haven't seen him play that well for a while. I mean, I haven't watched many Spurs games recently. Ooh, God, I'm tired today. Don't fall asleep in line of duty. I think it's extra time. The one right there. I'd like it to go straight to penalties, but they just... I think if it went straight to penalties, that would just make football better. I don't think you need extra time. People seem to be obsessed with it. And I don't think you need it. Here we go, Spurs. Bit of a chance. Harry Kane, 4v4. Feed him now, Harry. Too slow. Greedy Harry. Into Højbjerg. Oh, they messed that up massively. Reguilon. Højbjerg's furious with him. Harry Kane's hurt his knee. I don't know why Harry Kane just didn't play the ball into Højbjerg. Watch this here. Lo Celso. Lovely little ball to Kane. Kane's running from the halfway line. Now watch. Now. That ball into Højbjerg and he's in. It comes in too late. And then Reguilon's just held his run up as well. They just timed that all wrong. Kane's hurt his knee. Mark stretch. It's his lifestyle. If you're leaving, will you take me with you? I'm tired of talking on my phone. There is one thing I will never give you. My heart will never be your home. What's the matter with you? Sing me something new. Don't you know the call? Right. Sing the verb. It's just a bittersweet symphony that's life. 63 minutes. Kane's up and running again. Bit of a probably really good opportunity for Spurs there, and they still didn't get a shot off. Thanks everyone for tuning in, by the way. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. As we head towards 385,000. Thanks everyone. We're only 300 away from 385,000 now. Bottom right hand corner to subscribe. I think Steven Gerrard should go to a lower Premier League team first, says Ajit. You've been watching the snooker, Mark? I've watched a little bit last night, said Jamie. I mean, to be honest, I'm a bit pissed. There's loads of things that have pissed me off about the Super League. Mainly the fact that they obviously decided to try and ruin football. But the next thing for me, really, is that... I've not been able to watch the snooker. I've not been able to play Grand Theft Auto. I've not been able to do FIFA Career Mode. Hi Mark, what's for tea and what brand do you drink? It's got to be Yorkshire tea for me, says Thomas Clark. I mean, I do like a cup of tea, and I would love a cup of tea actually. But any old tea will do. Olivia, will you make me a cup of tea, please? All right, Charlie Haley, thanks. Sing the Smiths. There is a light and it never goes out. Super League has spoiled everything, says Advath. We'll get back to normal next week. Although make sure you get yourself down, as if you're a United fan, Old Trafford next Sunday. That's going to be a very big protest ahead of the Liverpool game. Thoughts on Werner, and do you think he's a flop? I don't think Werner's a flop. I don't know whether Chelsea will stick with him next year. I mean, this double substitution for Spurs. He's going for it, but it's not Ndembele. It's Sissoko and Bale. It's Sissoko and Bale. It's Mara coming off, and it's Bale coming on, and it's Probably going to be, I think, Winks coming off and Sissoko coming on. Bale for Mora. You know Bale has his hair like that because if he undoes it, he's got a big bald patch. Have you seen it? Sissoko coming on for Lo Celso. He's gone a bit defensive there then. Mark, your face is smooth. You should try Lifestyle. I don't know what you're on about. Thank you very much for feeding William, says Tom W. And is that true about Bale? Yeah, there's a picture of him, isn't it? He's got a big bald patch around there. I don't think he's not like a monk, but he's just his hair on top. He's going bald. There was a picture of a couple of years ago of when all his hair came out, and there's like a bald patch on the back. It's just a guy going bald. It's normal. I mean, he might have paid for it. He's got the money now. Might not be bald anymore. Here's Son wide out to Sissoko, and a nice play by Laporte. I think Spurs have been a bit better this second half, 20 minutes to go, and Man City seem to have... Tie is over, says Racehorse Red. Sissoko's on. City had a lot more of the ball, a lot more chances in the first half, so let's see what goes on second half. I don't think Bale will be at Spurs next year now. I don't know where Bale... I think Gareth Bale's a really weird player. It's almost like... I've made my money. I've got my contract. I'm going to earn my contract. And look, at the end of my contract, I might go to America. It's almost like football's. He's not motivated. And I might have misread the situation so much, but it's almost like he's just he's not motivated by football. Don't know. Thoughts on Wood's hat-trick? Well, at the end of the day, I've always said he's top quality, and but let's not forget Tarkowski with a fantastic clean sheet. In some ways, a clean sheet is as good as a hat-trick. I've always said that, and I've always been wrong. But Wood for me should be going to the Euros. I keep telling people that Wood needs to go to the Euros, and no one will listen, and I can't understand it. He should be going to the Euros. And that was a bit of a joke because I know that Chris Wood's from New Zealand, but Sean doesn't. Another short corner from City, back post. That's a goal kick. So 20 minutes to go, and extra time could be a go-go. Could be a go-go. Look at that though, and lovely to see fans in Wembley. I love it. It's a big old stadium, Wembley, and we can see people in it. It just goes to show how big these stadia are as well. When you see it spaced out with people in it like that, you really do see how many seats there are. X's and O's, they're on me. Na 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 na. X's and O's. Mark, thoughts on fishing, says Jay. I've never really done it. So don't knock it until you've done it. That's what I always say. Still won't do it though. But anyway, if PSG don't win League One, will Mbappe leave, says Vesero. I haven't looked at that. Anyway, it's a corner here. Foden's got it. Cross comes in. Second ball. Spurs win the second ball. Mark, thanks for helping during a rough time, says Marshall. Thanks for the super chat, Marshall. Hope you're doing well. Cross comes in. Oh, it's a header on the back post. I think it's Fernandinho, it was, and keeper gets hold of it. It's another one of those. They've whipped it in. I'll tell you what, if he got it across the face of the goal, Sterling's got to tap in. Ajit's getting a haircut tomorrow. What should he do? Have a fade, whatever that is. Go for a fade. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. The French league at the moment, PSG are top with 4 games to go, so they will win. I think they will win that league, the French. Le PSG, I think they will win it. Bundesliga, The Bundesliga. This is interesting. I can't do the German. Bundesliga is interesting, so it is. Because Dortmund... What's happened in the Bundesliga? Like, I'm sure last week Dortmund were 7 points off fourth, and now they're one. What's gone on in the Bundesliga recently? Everyone was like, Dortmund aren't going to get top four, and they're like 1 point off top four. They're going to get top four. It's because they've won 4 of their last 5, and everyone around them is not winning. They're only Dortmund are only 2 points off third now. They've tell you what, they've turned that around. They've turned that around big time. Frankfurt's bottled it, says Felix. I'm pretty sure a couple of weeks ago I was they were 7 points off top 4 and it just didn't look like they were going to do it. Now they're 1 point off, so it looks like they're going to do it. Haaland's been doing a madness, says Martin. Still 0-0 here. 18 minutes to go. You could be getting into that category now. If someone gets a goal, they win the game. And call me a genius, but at 0-0, if someone scores, they could win the game. Germany only deserves 3 Champions League spots, says Samuel. Yeah, they get 4, don't they? Oh, it's a run by Mahrez. It's a lovely run by Mahrez. It's a great save by Lloris. Lille have a game in hand against PSG to go top, says Dat. Not from what I just looked at. Is there any incentive we can give Lloris to have a howler? The promise to superglue Joe Hart to the bench, perhaps, says SP freely. Good shot by Mahrez. Good save by Lloris. Just been asked about my thoughts on the media blackout next week. So the media blackout next week is against online abuse, and I believe it's. I mean, I'll be corrected if I'm wrong in the live comments, but I believe this is like a 4-day thing, isn't it? Where they will all football social media accounts will just not be posting anything for 4 days in opposition to online abuse. Mark, when you lived in Ireland, did you ever get the dart to Greystone, says Dino? I don't remember doing that. Vishnu says Bale's going to win it for Spurs. Any player who's overrated in your opinion, says MJ. Well, I always thought Dele Alli was overrated, and I've probably been proven right. But I'll read out any good other ones that are suggested. But no, I think the club's doing what they're doing in relation to online abuse is good. But I've got to be honest, I wish they'd waited a little bit of time or done it sooner, because I think the way Manchester United have dealt, I can't feel really happy. It's a difficult one. I just don't like Manchester United Football Club at the moment in relation to who owns it. So anything that they sort of go and say, oh yeah, we're doing this good thing, well, you're trying to screw us over as an entity. You're trying to screw us over as fans. But look, the online abuse is disgusting, and I think we've all been victims to it. Lille have played 33 and PSG have played 34, says that boy. Thanks, pal. Is Griezmann overrated? He probably is a bit overrated. He's a good player, but I don't think he's as good as, I don't think he's one of the top 5 players in the world. That's what I always thought he was. I mean, you never really hear about Griezmann. I suppose you've got to watch La Liga to hear about him, but I hear about Messi all the time. I hear about players that I don't watch in leagues all the time. You never hear about Griezmann. Is Sterling overrated? It's a good question. I mean, there's no doubt that Sterling's a really good player, but I've got to be honest, I must catch him on bad games, because every game I watch him, I never see Sterling having a great game. Like, I've seen Man City play a few guys, probably seen Man City play 5 games in the last month, And I haven't seen Sterling have one good game. I've seen Foden play well, De Bruyne play well, Mahrez play well, but I haven't seen Sterling play well. But he scores a lot of goals, doesn't he? It's like I don't think he performs particularly well for England, but then he'll pop up with a hat-trick. If Spurs win, it has to go down as Mourinho bringing them their first trophy, says Bradley. Not really. 15 to go. I think this is going to extra time. Kane's been quiet, says Fabio. Well, there's not a lot going on for him. Let it go, Son. Here's Regwell on. He's done well. That's got to be a foul, ref. He's not giving it again. I think this ref's on the Man City payroll. That was a foul, surely. Extra time would be torture. We've had 2 crap games together, haven't we? Sean Dyche is back. I tell you what. I said this on... I phoned in on the watch-along for the United stand, right? Chris Wood, right? At the end of the day, I guarantee you, everybody today would have gone, oh, I'm not going to watch Wolves against Burnley on the BBC with crap Dyche, because the big games are going to be Manchester United against Leeds and Manchester City against Spurs in the Carabao Cup. Well, you can sit down on your favouritism and your Burnleyism, because Chris Wood and Sean Dyche, 4-0. Leeds against Man City, 0-0, and this 0-0. He's right. Sean Dyche is right. The best game of the day is Burnley Wolves. Who would have thought that? If you were betting on a 0-0, you'd bet 0-0 Wolves and Burnley. You wouldn't bet 0-0 in this, and you wouldn't bet 0-0 in Man United Leeds. Therefore, Sean Dyche is a better coach than Pep. Sean Dyche for England. Is Sterling just an English Dan James? No. I mean, Sterling's a good footballer. I just think, is he just a bit inconsistent? I don't think he's underrated. I just think he's a bit inconsistent. Or he just does fantastically well in the games I don't watch. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. We're on the road to 385,000. So please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We're only 200 away. So if you've not subscribed, bottom right hand corner, you're very welcome to the channel. Everybody's welcome here. Come on, Spurs. Nice little dink into Son. Headed away. Still, I can't think of a decent chance for Spurs apart from that long shot from the Celso. Sexes and the there. Villa are playing tonight, aren't they? Yeah, not watching it. United stand is on at 8 o'clock tonight, as per. Yeah. Got the crew on. Here is... There we go. Man City, 10 minutes to go. Somebody asked the question, how do Spurs get to finals? Oh, Foden. Little dink out wide. Cancelo, cross comes in. Headed away. And Spurs... I mean, if anyone scores now, it's over. We're into match-winning territory. Do you think Villarreal are going to knock Arsenal out? I'm actually going to go Arsenal. Just going to go Arsenal based on the fact that La Liga is better than the Prem. Sorry, Prem's better than La Liga. But as we saw, Real Madrid didn't do that. Joe, I did that for you. Do you think if Spurs win the title, Ryan Mason becomes a permanent deal with the team, says Andres? He might do. Rodri's coming on for Man City. Free kick here, Man City. Cross comes in. Oh, he scored! He scored! It's Laporte, and I think that's the game from Laporte. They've done it again from a set piece. Manchester City. He rose like a salmon, and he's headed it into the net like a salmon that's been caught. But it wasn't him that got caught. He headed another salmon in. He rose like a salmon, headed another salmon into the net, and then swam away, feeling quite remorseful for throwing his mate into the net. It will probably end up in a tin of salmon, but he swings away with the Carabao Cup. It's 1-0 to Manchester City. And I tell you what, Reguilon, who's not had a very good game, probably should be stopping that on the line. He's on the post. It's not Reguilon, it's Højbjerg. Højbjerg's on the post, and the ball's gone in. Oh, he's got to be stopping that. Højbjerg's fault, probably. If your man's on the post, your man should stop the goal. And your man didn't stop the goal. Pep's happy. The funny thing is, based on the first half, I thought City were much the better team. Second half, I think Spurs... And then he spat out my tea there. I think Spurs have been better without creating anything. I think it's been more of an even half. It's a shame for Spurs. They've not been in it in the first half. And second half, they got into it a little bit more. But it's not going to be enough. How are you awake, Mark? 4 hours of absolute crap football, says Vignesh. I'm hardcore. It's a marathon, not a sprint. But Højbjerg comes off. Dele Alli comes on. You asked me for overrated? Here he is, the man himself. Mr. Overrated. Here comes the odd step, but overrated. I thought he'd retired. Yeah, I'm looking forward to PSG Man City on Wednesday. Ooh, that was hot. Man City against PSG, that's going to be hot. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Real Madrid Chelsea as well. I think they're going to both be really good games. So make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and we'll be doing watch-alongs for both of those games, definitely. Spurs, look, what the future is for Spurs, I don't know, but I think you almost left yourself in a dodgy situation here. If you'd have won it, do you give the interim manager the job? I think that would be a mistake. If you didn't win it, if you kept Mourinho and he'd won it, do you keep him for another year? Probably would have been a mistake. De Bruyne, good block. City on the attack for number 2 here. It's only a number 1. The number 2 didn't come out. We've all been there. You sit down, you think you're having a number 2. The number 1 starts flowing, and the second number 2 doesn't come. It was just a number 1. But yeah, it's a difficult situation for Spurs. It's yet another rebuild for Spurs. It's yet another disappointment for Spurs. It's yet another empty trophy cabinet for Spurs. But I don't think they had much of a chance with Mourinho. And I definitely didn't think they had much chance without him. So ultimately, it's a disappointing Spurs season. And I do, in a footballing sense, not in a rivalry sense or anything like that. As a Manchester United fan, I don't feel sorry for Spurs. But as a football fan, I feel sorry for Spurs. Because I think when you look at the season of Spurs, this is very indicative of what the problem is at Spurs. If you look at this is a Carabao Cup final. You are basically 90 minutes away from winning a trophy, which you don't do very often. And hold on, let's just see what happens here. Here's Son into Reguilon. Yeah, so you're 90 minutes away from winning a trophy. You've got all the way to a final and you're not going to do it, right? Look at the league table for Spurs. 53 points, which is 5 points off 4th place. And 5 points is a big gap. They're not going to get top 4. But how many points have Spurs dropped this season? I mean, Spurs are one of the Spurs must be one of the only teams this season to lose home and away to Liverpool. I mean, they're 6 points straight away. And I can think of about 15 points that Spurs have lost from winning positions, from drawing positions, that they shouldn't have done. So I think this season for Spurs could have been so different. And I think so much of it is down to the fact that Mourinho just didn't open up. He wanted to stick to this defensive style of football. There were games where they started off really well. I watched some games where they started off really well. They're 1-0 up. I remember, was it Newcastle? Were you 2-0 up there, or West Ham around the start of the season? You ended up with 2-2. I can definitely think of an easy 10 points that Spurs should have had, and they've given up. So, top 4 in a Carabao Cup final would be good. And I don't know whether Spurs look at it like that. I don't know whether Spurs. I don't know whether Spurs fans look at it like that, but it could have been very, very different. And I think the reason it wasn't different is because Mourinho never shed that defensive mentality. Because Spurs could have had a lot more points than they did. And I think as a Spurs fan, I'd probably look at this if I was a Spurs fan and go, this was a season where you look at the summer transfer window, it was good. You look at Kane and Son at times this season, unbelievable. But we just didn't sustain it. And that, not only just across a 38-game season, but also across 90 minutes, they didn't sustain it. So I think it's one of those typical sort of Spurs things. It's not 1-1. It's not 1-1. It's 1-0, and it's a goal kick to Spurs, so it's not 1-1. But yeah, I think it is one of those for Spurs. And Spurs fans would say it's not one of those. It's always that's Spurs. Spurs being Spursy. And they're right. I remember Spurs, they should have got top 4 and they blew it. They could have won a title the year that Leicester won it, and they blew it. For a lot of the season that Leicester won the title, Spurs were the team after them, and then they still bottled second place. Didn't Arsenal get second place that year? It's a mentality thing at Spurs, and I think they thought with Mourinho that mentality might shift because he's got a winning mentality. But is that not contradictory in itself? Like, Spurs are a team that are entertaining, but they always bottle it. Champions League final under Pochettino against Liverpool, great chance, bottled it. Today against Man City, bottled it. They always bottle it, Spurs, and then they bring a manager in who's a winner, whether you like his style of football or not. Mourinho always wins a trophy, and then they sack him 5 days before a bloody cup final. Like, maybe it would have been more important to just win that trophy, but it's Spurs. It's typical Spurs, isn't it? Get rid of a manager that you bring in to make you win trophies 5 days before a bloody cup final. It's madness, absolutely madness. But look, I'm not a Spurs fan, and many Spurs fans were happy that Mourinho went. But you are a club that doesn't win trophies. You appoint a manager to give you that winning mentality, and then you sack him 5 days before a cup final. It's typical Spurs. Typical Spurs. But they've not been good in this final. I mean, apart from the Lo Celso chance, they've not been very good, and Man City have deserved it, definitely. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. Our next watch-along will be Tuesday night, Champions League. Can't wait for that. And obviously Wednesday night, Man City PSG. Can't wait for that as well. And FIFA Career Mode Episode 2 is back tomorrow. Now the Super League debacle is over, I can continue with my Super League with less guilt and more interest. So that's back tomorrow as well, tomorrow afternoon at about 3:45. Looking forward to that. So please subscribe. We're only 100 away from 385. You're all welcome on this channel as well. That's football. So it's it's general football. It's not really to do with any specific club. And when it gets to 1 million subscribers, I'm quitting the United stand and doing this full time. Oh, Foden. Over the top. Harry Kane out wide. Sissoko. They've got one chance here. 3 to go. 3 minutes to go. Three minutes to go here. Sterling. I was clapping for Burnley then. Someone said, can you clap for Burnley? Oh, I'll clap for Burnley. Chris Woody and Tarkovsky. We've got Sean Dyche. We've got Woody. I can't think of anything else to sing. Let's go, Marks is L1. Sterling's not had a good game. If I was doing player ratings today, I'd give Sterling a 5. Could have had a hat-trick. Man of the match? Probably Laporte. It's a big goal, that. Oh! Good foul, that, on Gundogan. I mean, I say, it looked a bad foul, but I don't think it was as bad. Yeah, probably Laporte. I mean, it's not been a great game. I thought City in the first half looked a lot better than the second half, and reminds me of, for the old school, I'm going to guarantee 95% of you will not know what I'm talking about here. This game reminds me of Arsenal against Sheffield Wednesday in the 1993 FA Cup final, where Linegan came up and won a header in a 0-0 game. It's just been a bit like that. It's been a bit like that. But the ref's about to blow the whistle here. Bale's done nothing. Kane's been quiet. Son's been quiet. And I think the lesson is, when you compare Chelsea's performance against Man City a week ago to Spurs' performance here, you've got to get hold of the midfield. You've got to get hold of the midfield against Man City. And Spurs' midfield never got hold of the game, never got hold of the ball, and therefore they've just never been able to really provide the attack for Spurs. I feel a bit sorry for Kane and Son and Mora because they've not had the opportunities. Mahrez is offside there. Sing a song for Jurgen Klopp, says John. I don't know any. Yeah, Foden's offside in the link-up play there. Poundland treble. Well, they've not won it yet. But they have won the Carabao Cup. It's another cup for Pep. How many Carabao Cups in a row has he run? About 10. City always seem to win the Carabao Cup. I would give the man of the match to Laporte. Big header, big winner for him, and big win for City. That's the Carabao Cup. We know they're going to win the Premier League. Nice to have fans in the ground. I mean, what I would say is very nice to have fans back in the ground. I don't know where they found the Man City fans. I think most of them were probably here a couple of years celebrating Chelsea's wins, but they've... no, on a serious note, it's great to have fans back in the ground and long for the days where they have a few more. There's a Spurs player crying here. Who's crying? It's only the... God, how far have Spurs fallen that they cry for losing a bloody Carabao Cup final? It's only the Carabao Cup, mate. I sim it on FIFA. Even I'm tempted to sim the final on FIFA for Carabao Cup. Don't cry about it, mate. God, it's really not that deep. You don't cry about a Carabao Cup. Can we find out who was crying in the Carabao Cup? It was Son. He's crying. Son, somebody tell him this is not important. This is not the Champions League. This is not the FA Cup. This is like the Carabao Cup is like if the Community Shield and the FA Cup had sex and had a baby, they'd have the Carabao Cup. It's not that deep, Son. It's nice to win, but it's not that deep. It really isn't. It's probably your best chance of getting a winner's medal at Spurs, and that's probably worth a cry. But please don't cry about not winning the Carabao Cup. Nobody really takes it that seriously. As I said, it's the love child of the FA Cup and the Community Shield. It really isn't that deep. But at least he cares. At least he cares. Brian Kidd, I haven't seen him for years. He's getting old. At least he cares. At least he cares. And actually, that shows that he does care, which is always a good thing. Thanks everyone for watching anyway. I'll speak to you. We're on the United Stand at 7:30. I think it's 7:30 or 8 o'clock. So we're on the United Stand in just over an hour, reviewing the week and also the Spurs game, but more importantly the week. And I think that's a lot of things. A lot of you would like to tune in for that because it's been a big week in relation to the Super League. Son is soft, says Chris. I'm going to have my dinner. Thanks everyone for watching. United Stand in an hour and a little bit, and I'll speak to you in a bit.